Everyone, and thanks for tuning in to my weekly video message. Passover is nearly upon us. In less than 2 weeks, we will gather with family, friends, and community at our seders to celebrate the holiday. We will remember our enslavement in Egypt. We will celebrate our freedom and liberation. And we will look towards the future, recommitting to the work of freedom and justice for all, and hoping and praying that one day the world will be redeemed, and that all people will know true freedom. Now, I would imagine that for some of us, it feels hard to imagine how we're going to celebrate Passover this year. It might be hard to imagine how we'll access this sense of celebration, this sense that we're free and liberated, this sense of hope for a future redeemed, when it feels more like we are totally sunk in Egypt, and so deeply far from the world of freedom, safety, justice, and compassion that we seek. That is why this week and next week, I want to offer some different ways that we might approach Passover this year, in the hope that Passover will give us the spiritual nourishment and ignite the spiritual fire that we desperately need for the path ahead. Now, one of the ways that I'm approaching Passover this year is as an opportunity to return and reground in our most prized values as a Jewish people, to what we truly stand for and to what we know is truly right. Because some of our most prized values as a people emerge from our experience of slavery and freedom from Egypt. Our commitment to loving and not oppressing the other and the stranger arose from this experience. The Torah says that because we were slaves in Egypt, because we endured oppression and exploitation and human degradation under Pharaoh, that we cannot allow others to experience what we experienced. We ourselves must not oppress or exploit or degrade our fellow human beings, and we must try and stop it when we see it happening. These values emerge from our experience in Egypt. This same experience also gave rise to our commitment to empathy and compassion. That because we know the pain of oppression and dehumanization, we must have empathy and compassion for those who are experiencing these same dynamics in our world. This is how the value of standing by those who are being oppressed emerged. And this experience also gave rise to our commitment to fighting tyrannical regimes whenever and wherever they emerge. We lived under the Egyptian regime, and our ancestors experienced its incredible cruelty. And we have lived, of course, under many tyrannical regimes around the world since. This calls us to stand against tyrannical leaders and empires whenever and wherever they are in power. Now, for me, it is incredibly important and powerful that we return to our values in this way. As we face an assault on our Jewish values in the public square, it is so important that we reaffirm and reground in what we stand for and what we know to be right as Jews. It's important that we return to these values again and again. And on Passover, we have the opportunity to do this, to return to where our values came from, to return to why they are our values, and to why these values matter so much for the good of humanity. And it is so important that we take this opportunity, because this is how these values become our spiritual fuel. This is what can give us the fortitude that we need to keep on insisting on these values, even as the world seems to be moving in the opposite direction. This is how our Jewish values can propel us forward in the moral abyss. Through having us return to our story of slavery and freedom, Passover invites us to really reground in our values in such a life-giving and spiritually opening and energizing way. And for that reason, I hope you'll join me in approaching Passover in this way this year. With that, I want to invite each of us to reflect. How are you feeling going into Passover this year? Are you looking forward to it, to gathering and having the opportunity to celebrate? Or are you perhaps finding it difficult to imagine connecting to it amidst all that we're experiencing in the world? And how might using Passover as an opportunity to return and reaffirm our Jewish values enliven Passover and really open it up this year amidst so much uncertainty and turmoil that we're experiencing? As usual, I look forward to hearing your responses to these questions. You can reach me at rabbi@bethtorah.org. I look forward to hearing what's on your heart and your mind.